Let me see. Peace, family. Are we live? Hi, family. Peace. Welcome. Check in. Grand Rising. Great Rising. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. Good night. Grand Rising family. Check in. I came back as promised because I said some things yesterday about the Super Bowl. I talked about how this is a 9-year 2025 and what 9 energy means, and also that this is the year of the snake. And I discussed my thoughts about this being the year of the snake and my predictions with the Super Bowl. And keep checking in, family. And I'm going to continue to stand on business. I don't know what people thought I was going to do because the Chiefs didn't win. I think, people thought I was going to not say anything about it or relent or say, I'm sorry, I miscalled it. And that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to speak my peace and my truth. And I expect everybody else to do the same. I'm just not built that way where I'm going to take back my word or go back on my word. That's just not who I am. It's not how I was created. So keep checking in, family, because I got some things to show y'all. Welcome. Plus, we said we were going to come back and we are going to talk about some decodes for anybody that wanted to decode the Super Bowl that occurred yesterday. Check in, let us know where you're hailing from. Great day, family. Grand Rising. Hi, Leslie. Hi, Sister Sarah. Hello, Rosemary. What a beautiful name. Sister Maureen is in the house. Hi, Gwendolyn. She says, greetings, everyone. My sister's name is Gwendolyn. Divine Hazel says, blessings to everybody. Happy to see you. Check in. Good afternoon, Amelia. Hello. Good afternoon. Oh, South Africa's in the house. Hi, Magda. That's a lovely name. Shalom. I'd rather be fishing. Hi, Maui. Aloha. Louisiana's in the house. Hi, Gwendolyn. Rosata. Rasta Hotep. I love the name. Rich Risings from Massachusetts, he says. Rich Pritch. Hello, Rich. That video you sent me last Friday, Rich, it really resonates with me. It resonated with me when I saw it Friday, and then I watched it again today. And it's something I wish I could share with everybody, but I don't think people could take it. I don't think people would take it very well as it relates to what's going on in this war against the deep state. I want to say it again, Rich, what I said yesterday and the day before. The Chiefs on the land are back in control. They will be back in control, and things will be turned right back over to the Chiefs. I know that we're in a war against, the deep state. And I know, in my humble opinion, or in my very strong opinion, and I showed you, people, the articles that says that the eagle is the sign or the symbol of the Roman Empire. So that's how I was able to make my prediction of the Chiefs making it to the Super Bowl. And I said emphatically, 10 toes down, that the Chiefs were going to win the Super Bowl. And I stand by. I don't care what happened on the screens. I'm just standing by my word. I stand by what I said, that the Chiefs on the land and the autonomous people and we the people will have our republic restored. So what a lot of people said, once the game didn't work out that way and the Chiefs didn't lose, was that, well, maybe the Eagles won because the Republic is located in Philadelphia, the Republic for America, and the original Republic was in Philadelphia. So I can see that side too, but I'm not going back on my word. And when I considered the video you showed me, Rich Pritch, from last Friday, when I saw that video, I had a feeling in my spirit that they might change things, and that this war that we see going on in the world was a lot deeper than what some people know. I wish I can say everything, Rich Pritch. You know where I'm going with this, but I could see that they were going to try to turn things against our favor, we the people, but they're gonna lose. So welcome everybody. I can't really say the things that I want to say. Rich Pritch knows what I'm trying to say because he sent me a video that was very telling about the war against the deep state and how they were playing dirty. Now, for those of you who don't know, I've often predicted that the Chiefs would win the Super Bowl. And as a matter of fact, the games leading up to the Super Bowl, I said will come down to the Chiefs and the Eagles. And the last two times the Chiefs won, I predicted that they would win because the Chiefs on the land are, having their republic returned back to them. And the Chiefs on the land are having their land returned back to them. And I don't mean in a sense of ownership. I mean like the sense of identity where people will come to know who the true Americans or the original Americans are. And the republic for the people on the land would be restored. And then after the republic is restored, then we will move to common law and natural law or tribal law. So we're going right now, we had the United States Incorporated and deep state. Donald Trump is the commander in chief and the CEO and the 47th president of the United States Incorporated. He's using the tools which of the United States Incorporated, which is the executive orders against them to totally obliterate them and to do away with them. Once that happens, he will return everything back over to the republic, and then the republic will operate for a time, and then we'll return to natural law or common law. And for those on the land here in America, it will be tribal law. So why am I saying I'm standing on business? Family, I'm standing on business because basically what I'm saying is I'm standing on principle. I'm standing on what I said. I'm standing on my beliefs. I'm not relenting. The Chiefs were supposed to win the Super Bowl. And what I know is that when you have a critical mass of people that have awakened and they call the plays, then the people in power want to do what they can to try to humiliate you. They want to make you feel some sense of relent and remorse. This is my perspective. I'm Dr. Kia Pruitt. I'm giving my perspective. Other people have their perspectives, and I get it. And I appreciate it and I respect it. What I'm saying is this is my show. I'm giving my perspective. So what I've decided to do is some of the videos that I have, I'm really thinking about starting a private group. And once we go live, and publicly taking some of those videos and putting them in a private group for people who want to dig deeper and go into details and flesh out our ideas. Y'all let me know what you think in the comment section if we should start a private members only chat or group so we can speak our piece away from the masses. If you think that's a good idea, put a 1 in the chat or say yes, or go into details. If you think we shouldn't do that, then please say no. But I'm thinking about making some of those videos private because what has happened is on the videos where I speak publicly, some of the comments are so disrespectful and negative that, I don't really like reading that energy because it's my desire to read all of your comments and I want to respond. And I try my best to respond from a very positive perspective, say thank you for watching. I appreciate you. But sometimes in my spirit, I'd be like, I want to clap back and I'm like, dang, did they say that to me? What did they really mean to be that nasty? And my flesh wants to lash out, but then I have to remember that that's not who I am. And, a goddess or a queen or a respectable person, a feminine lady doesn't just go off on people. She understands that you have to have a high emotional intelligence when you're dealing with the masses, and you have to just be quiet sometimes or let people, express themselves because, this is a public platform. But because some of that energy is something I don't want to receive, I've considered going public with the videos and then making them private and going to a members only chat or members only group. So y'all let me know what you think. So I just wanted to say that I'm standing on business, on my principles of what I said, that the land is being returned back to the Chiefs. The Chiefs represents not only the autogenous people, but the Chiefs represent America, period. And when you return things back over to the people who were prisoners of war, the people who are prisoners of war now reclaiming their government are supposed to honor all the treaties with the people on the land, with the Europeans that came here and any lawful immigrants and lawful migrants. So I'm standing my ground. And when I look up, and I ask people, young people, what does it mean to stand on business? They basically say it means you standing on your ground despite what type of pressure you come under, especially, as a matter of fact, when you're under pressure or when people challenge you or people call you a false prophet like people did me. You stand on business unless you really believe that you miscalled it. I don't believe that. I know I didn't. I feel in my spirit that so many people have caught on to the codes, the messages, and what the deep state has done, that they reverse the play. And I feel, and I've always said, that the games are rigged. So they rigged it in favor of the Eagles. You can even see that the Chiefs weren't playing. Now, some people say they're not the stronger team, and I get that, but they weren't even trying. They weren't even playing, in my opinion. Y'all let me know what you think, because we said we would come back today and speak our minds. So y'all let me know what you think. I'm telling you, I'm standing on what I said because this is how I truly feel and know in my spirit. There's nothing in my spirit that says that this game was not rigged. I thought the show was whack. Excuse me. I thought the Super Bowl halftime show was lackluster. I thought it was cheesy. And I'm kind of upset that I watched it because I'm like, dang, I let them harvest my energy too, because I was present. But I'm not the only person that thinks that this was a interesting game, despite the outcome. And I was telling my son, I recall there was a horse race that occurred a couple years ago, and I'm gonna bring it home. There was a horse race. I don't know if y'all remember that. I think it was like 2020. And there was this horse that won the race. And at the end of the game, the horse race at Churchill Downs with the Kentucky Derby, Donald Trump said this was rigged. He said it was rigged. And he said, we know who was supposed to win because the horse won. And then at the end of the game, the referees ruled against that horse. And the horse was supposed to win because the horse not only was a stronger horse, but because of the symbolism. Many people who understood and overstood the symbolism could tell that horse would win the race, and it did. And then at the end of the game, the referees reversed it. And so Donald Trump was like, oh man, they did that because everything's rigged. He said this was political. I knew, we all knew who actually won. We called it. And I'll find that article in a minute. But as it relates to this particular game, I had no idea that Donald Trump had actually predicted that the Chiefs would win as well. Did y'all know that? Trump predicted that the Chiefs would win. Let me see if I can find that article for you. It is a USA article and USA article. Let me see. And that doesn't mean just because he predicted it that it was supposed to win. They were supposed to win. I'm just telling you what happened. In an interview with Fox News, chief political anchor Brett Baylor, that was taped of Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in Palm Beach, Florida, the president picked the Kansas City Chiefs to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. He also said that he expects the changes that he's implemented since taking over the White House 3 weeks ago. Before 8 p.m., he said this at the start of the third quarter. Before 8 p.m. and the start of the third quarter, Trump left the game with the Chiefs trailing by 24 points. You see that? Here it is. So I'm not the only one that predicted this. Right here. The president picked the Kansas City Chiefs to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. And then he got up and left at the start of the third quarter. when the Chiefs was trailing. I think for a while they were like 0-24, and then it was 0-34. That was very interesting. Let me know your thoughts about that. Here, sorry, I'm looking for another article. And I don't know if you all saw what happened at the end of the game. Trump asked the question, whose idea was it to ruin the game? Let me show you right here. He was speaking my sentiments. I had no idea he felt this way. The worst part of the Super Bowl by far was watching the kickoff, where, as the ball is sailing through the air, the entire field is frozen stiff. College football does not do this and won't. Whose idea was it to ruin the game? Let me know what your thoughts are. I'm standing on business. They ruined the game. It was rigged. I called it the way I saw it, and I'm not relenting. Then when you look at this X account, some people say this is Trump's burner account or his like backup account. You guys seen this one, Il Donado Trumpo, and this was the account that he had when they had taken him off Twitter and all social media platforms. He created this particular account. He said on today at 12:20 p.m., the Super Bowl halftime show sucked, by the way. And so somebody took it upon themselves to actually look into the gematria calendar to see what kind of codes he was dropping. The Super Bowl halftime show sucked, by the way. Comes out to 475. The other thing, the messages behind that is there is no victory in winning for half of America, 475. If you go after me, I'm coming for you. This is war, 475. If you don't help me, many will lose their lives, 475. We are in favor of the death penalty for drug dealers, 475. And there are more, but I thought that was interesting. There's no victory in winning for half of America. So, it doesn't matter. We all have to be in this together. If you come for me as the president, then I'm coming for you because this is war. I noticed at the end of during a halftime Super Bowl production, in the background, it said game over. It depends on what side you're coming from. It could have been game over, like the Eagles are saying game over, or the deep state is saying game over, we're going to win. Or you can think, maybe you can say that the Republic is saying game over, you're going to win. But the way I see it is that they want us to give up, especially the people who are really rooting for the Republic being restored or returned. They kind of want you to just say, oh man, we thought the Chiefs were going to win, or, maybe we decoded it wrong. I'm just not going to feel that way. I'm just not going to feel sorry. I'm not going to relent. I'm not going to feel like I was wrong. That's just not me. Another thing that this comes out to be is just 475. Q knows the date and it's going to be in your effing face. Sometimes you just got to spell it out, 475. So y'all let me know what you think. Like I said, Trump predicted the Chiefs would win. Trump said that it looked staged, or he alluded to it looking staged. He said he asked whose idea was it to ruin the game. He got up and left the game. What else did he do? He said the Super Bowl halftime show sucked, which it did. It was horrible. I didn't care about the so-called messages. I thought it was horrible. It was lackluster. It wasn't entertaining. Kendrick Lamar, I didn't even know what he looked like until yesterday. Maybe he's just not an entertainer. Maybe rappers just don't entertain. I don't know. I've never been to a rapper concert, but it just wasn't interesting to me. The dancers were lackluster. They weren't professional. Not that they have to be, but it looked like they just went in on the street and said, "Hey, you want to come watch the Super Bowl for free? You can come and dance with me." I don't care that they were all black or melanated. They were weak. They were whack. The whole thing was whack to me. That's just how I feel. So coming on my post and saying, you're a false prophet and, et cetera, it doesn't move me. I'm standing on business. I stand on what I said. The land is being returned back to the autogenous people. Let me tell you something else. Everybody that's working for the republic or standing in the so-called inhabited republic doesn't really want everybody to win. Some people are still there trying to maintain their power and their privilege. Okay. Some people are still there trying to make sure that everybody's not represented in the re-inhabited republic. And I know what I'm talking about because I've been asked to be on it and I'm supposed to be on it. They don't invite me to the meetings. They don't let me know all the stuff that's going on. And it's not just me. It's other people who look like me that they try to keep out. Okay. Some people are for people that look like me being a part of the re-inhabited republic. And then some people are not. Another thing I want to tell y'all is I've been told to stop talking about bloodline families. I've been warned about certain things. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that I'm not going to say. But some of you have seen it play out when we're going live. How even the video on yesterday, they took me off the live several times. It went dark. My social media started acting up. My computer started acting up. My phone started acting up. Everything froze. It was funny. The network went out. But behind the scenes, there are people that pretend to be a part of the MAGA movement. Oh, we all kumbaya. We're in this together. And we just love Dr. Kia Pruitt and I want her on my show. Some of those people are the very ones that's reporting my channel, the very ones that have taken down, 7 of the 8 channels that I've had, the very ones that behind the scenes get on the phone and have a problem with me breaking news, the very ones that don't want me talking about who the autogenous people are or anything about the republic being restored, how the republic is attached to the autogenous people on the land. They think I don't know. But if you're watching, I know you. I won't say you by your name because I have too much class, but you know who you are. That's why you won't show your face. You get behind a computer screen, but you won't show your face. You pretend like you're my friend. You pretend like you're friends of everybody in America, but no, you've benefited from the system as it was in place, and you don't really want to see the system completely demolished. And so what you do is you pretend like you're for the republic. You have podcasts. And then you report back to the deep state and the people for whom you really work. See, I see you, and I know this war is not carnal. This is a spiritual war. And I am a prophet of the Most High God, and I am a prophetess that have the spirit of my ancestors in me. And so I'm going to speak to that evil, wicked, satanic spirit that tries to come against we the people. The war is coming to a close. You have some of your minions that are still in place, pulling the puppet strings, playing a game, just like, you allow. I don't know if some of y'all saw that they actually showed you a puppet master during the Super Bowl pulling the strings. They actually showed you how it looked like there was a video game being played. I know you all still have minions in power, and some of you that's on here watching my podcast are a part of the deep state, and you report back to them. But you cannot win, because we have the spirit of our ancestors in us speaking the truth. And we have the Most High, the creator or source, working with us. Again, this is a spiritual warfare. So it doesn't matter what you say, what you do, how you send your minions, you're going to lose. You're going to lose. So what we have to do as a soul family and as spiritual beings is use spiritual tools to help win this war. Rich Pruitt sent me a video that let me see just how intense this war is. The military is taking out people. People are going to Guantanamo Bay, but on the other side, they are taking out people who are fighting on our behalf. On the other side, they're eliminating certain people who are fighting this war on our behalf. I'll just put it that way. So it's very, very serious. And when you If I were to tell you who they're taking out, you wouldn't believe it. So I'll just keep that private. But I'm standing on business, and I will tell you that the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. When you know what the ancient texts say, they say that some things only come by fasting and praying. So yes, you have to have action behind your faith as well. But sometimes you got to go into the spiritual realms, and you have to literally speak to the devil. You have to literally let your flesh decrease by seeking out your ancestors, by seeking out the creator, and go into an underground war and fight this warfare, spirit to spirit. So I see some of you. And I got your message when you said, don't talk about bloodline families. I got your message. I got your message when you said, don't tell Dr. Kia Pruitt because she speaks to them people. Who are them people? You think I don't know this? Who are those people that you don't want to know the truth? Who are them people that you don't want to know about this war going on between bloodline families? Don't tell Dr. Pruitt this certain amount of information. Don't let Dr. Pruitt bring so-and-so on their show because she's working with or her soul family is those people. I thought you were my friend. I see you. I know you. Yes, Trump was favoring the Chiefs. I know you. Mayat says, I appreciate your work. It's my understanding and overstanding. It took, that they were taking down the fake. I thought about that too. They could have been taking down the fake $5 Indians, which were the chiefs on the land. And thank you, Maya. Melaneda said, the way the message could have been, the chiefs represent the $5 Indians who are not the real Indians, and the egos represent the republic. I think that's what you're saying. So the chiefs had to lose, but Melaneda said, still, even with that being said, that the games were rigged. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, Amelia said they had to change the gameplay because too much money to lose. Wow. Yes, they know we know their script. Absolutely. Absolutely. It shows how quick that the Chiefs rode right behind from 17 to 0. Okay. Thank you. Lasana, hi, honey, says, I love your energy. You're very smart. Lasana is one of my new friends that I met at an African restaurant. He is Liberian, right? Hi, Lasana. Thank you so much for being here. You're so kind. Hi, love being Nubian. Thank you for being here, sister. Custodianship of the land. Yes. So too many people were betting on the Chiefs, according to Amelia. So maybe that's why things turned out that way. And, for the people that rooted for the Eagles, I say congratulations still. If you have a difference of opinion, you're still our soul family, right? We're still in this together. People give their thoughts, they give their opinion, they break down codes according to how they see things. And I'm okay with that. Good times are ahead. I agree, Linda. Thank you so much. Oh, Alfredo Francisco is here. Hi, Alfredo. That's our Philippine brother who is also a friend of Empress, not Empress, Princess Elizabeth Rodriguez Ruiz. He says, hi there. We're about to witness the monumental shift of humanity as shackles of slavery set loose, and we're all going to be free. Jubilee and redemption year, both by faith and economic slavery. Yes. Remember, we saw that zero. Thank you, brother. That Zero Hedge article. It says that we're going to experience a debt jubilee in biblical proportions. Are you ready? Y'all remember that article? Zero Hedge. Let me show it to you in case some of you didn't see it. So we will have a debt jubilee. Thank you. Whenever the debt reaches a certain limit and it becomes insurmountable, historically, what governments have done and nations have done is just to forgive the debt, just wipe it out, because it's going to be too hard to pay it off. They call that a jubilee. In the biblical times, they call it a debt jubilee or just a jubilee, and it occurred every 7 years. What happened was, when the children of Israel, according to the biblical story, when the children of Israel were in Egypt, they were enslaved, but Moses was chosen by the biblical God to bring them out of slavery. On their way out of slavery, they stopped in the wilderness. They were supposed to head right to the promised land, Canaan land, the land flowing with milk and honey, but they stopped through the wilderness. The people were complaining while they were in the wilderness, but that journey was only supposed to take 3 days. It ended up taking 40 years, according to the Bible, because the people were complaining, like, oh my God, why did Moses bring us here? We should have just stayed in slavery. At least we have food, And so what happened was, God spoke to Moses and said, comfort the people, let them know that I'm going to provide for them while they're in the wilderness. And he gave them manna. He gave them, the manna was something like a bread or something that fell from the sky. And when they ate it, they were like, ooh, what is it? That's what manna stands for, or a little biblically means, what is it? They couldn't explain it, something they had never seen before. He gave them water, he gave them manna. Then they said that wasn't enough, so he gave them quail. And he also made sure that the shoes that were on their feet lasted, the clothes that were on their feet lasted, and they were able to sustain themselves while they were in the wilderness. But that 3-day journey turned into 40 years, because of their complaining. While they were in the wilderness, God said, I'm going to bring you out. You're going to go into a new land flowing with milk and honey, meaning it's going to be a land full of abundance. And you're going to have a good life. You're going to forget about the slavery that you went through. Well, as they were coming out, then God gave Moses another message. And he said, when you get to the promised land, I want you to, every 7 years, forgive any debts, and let your servants go free. Because back then, if you couldn't pay your debt, you would work for somebody. It's like indentured servitude to pay off your debt. So he said, you're supposed to do this every 7 years. Just let them go free, forgive the debt, and also give the land a rest. And then you're supposed to count a cycle of 7 years, 7 times 7, and have a big jubilee on that 50th year. 7 times 7 equals 49, but a big jubilee celebration in the 50th year. According to many Hebrew scholars and conventional scholars, we are in the 50th year of a jubilee, where we're supposed to celebrate the complete liberation of people who were indebted. So by, whether it's indebted, if you were a slave because you had shackles on you, or people who were a slave to the financial system, however you see it, we're in the 50th year, or in the Jubilee year. So we stumbled upon this article actually as soon as it came out in December of last year, and it says, this is a debt jubilee of biblical proportions. It's coming. Are you ready? For thousands of years, the rulers of ancient Babylon discovered a technique to stave off violent revolts. In ancient times, people often became hopelessly indebted to their creditors, where a lot of people are feeling like that right now. As debts mounted, social unrest would boil over, threatening the stability of the entire ruling system. So an answer to that was for the rulers of the ancient world to enact a widespread debt cancellation that they call a debt jubilee. The article goes on to say how debt jubilees acted as societal pressures released valves when no other option remained. So when there was no other way to eradicate the problem of insurmountable debt and people being stressed out, the morale of nations being low because people are enslaved to their debt, then you just have a debt jubilee. Is what the article says, and it says it's coming, and he asks, are you ready? When you see things happen like this, where mainstream media or some other outlets and it's come out and talk like this, you know that we're very, very close to having a debt jubilee. Okay. Many people on our podcast have literally said they've gotten letters that say that their debt was canceled. I showed you a couple of those yesterday, and then I saw one today on my YouTube channel. Some of you are tuning in from other places, but it's on my in the community section. Let me see if I can find that. The community section of my YouTube channel, somebody said that they had another debt cancellation letter sent to them. Let's see if I can find it. The reason why people are sending me this is because I reported that credit collectors were told to stand down. And right after that, I was able to acquire this list of Federal Trade Commission banned debt collectors. And I put it underneath the video that talks about debt collection. And you know what? I went to find this article, this thing for you, and I don't see it. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, hold on. Oh, gosh, I don't see that, but I do see something else I wanted to show you. Hold on. I'm going to show you some more examples of the people receiving debt cancellation letters. This is interesting. Have y'all heard this? Jamie Franks says, Dr. K. Pruitt, my best friend watched the game last night, and he only watched the 4 quarters. I told him a week ago that the Chiefs would win, and I also told my son. Well, my BFF, or my best friend, is awake, but not my son. My son sent me a text with a score of 34-0. You know, that's the score where the Eagles were ahead 34, the Chiefs were at 0. And my BFF told me this morning, this was this morning, Monday, February the 10th, that he saw the game and it said that the score was 40-37, that the Chiefs had won. The person goes on to say, I told him that the Chiefs would win, but the general public sees what they are meant to see at the time. We're certainly on 2 different paths. Now things will go into, what she said, into war speed. Jamie says, you were right, and my heart knew it, and it is a test to see who jumps ship and who stays on board. Have a beautiful day, my sister. The final game, according to what they saw, I don't know where they saw it, was 40-37. We're almost there, in the favors of the Chiefs. I didn't see 40-37, but I do respect the fact that Jamie showed us this, and I appreciate it because I keep hearing that people are experiencing a timeline shift. I'm hearing that people live in the same city, and some people will experience fires and tornadoes and natural catastrophes, and a person could live in the same community on the same street and say they didn't see what the other person saw. So I just thought that was peculiar. I just wanted to show you guys that. Thank you so much, Jamie, for showing that to me. And then on another video, I think I showed you guys this yesterday. I want you, if you get a chance, to look at my video that says, breaking Jubilee coming, collection agencies must stand down. In that video, I talk about the FTC banned collection agencies and how we have a list and how that list will include more companies that are banned as time goes on. But Trump and the alliance have told debt collectors to stand down. So people in the comment section were telling me that they actually received letters saying that their debt was canceled. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it. Hi, Dr. Kia. Yesterday, my son got a letter from Credit Acceptance Corporation stating cancellation of debt. It was for a loan from 2016 in the amount of $5,965.33. VP Palmer says, we had our student loan canceled out a few weeks ago, $27,000 plus. I can't wait for the rest of my debt to be forgiven. Quarter Horse says, I received a cancellation of debt letter last week from a company. And it goes on that video and the video that I did after that. Let me see if I can show you the video that I did after that, where people were leaving their testimony of their debt being canceled. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is just to let you know that I'm not going back on what I said. Our debt's going to be canceled, because people are like, well, if the Chiefs didn't win and you said they would, how much more have you said that's going to happen, won't happen? The RV is not going to happen. The SAR is not going to happen. Jasar is not going to happen, is what people are saying. And I'm telling you, it's already happening. Components of Nassar and Jasara is debt forgiveness, and people are testifying that that's happening. Trump saying that he was going to get rid of the Internal Revenue Service and create the External Revenue Service by taxing other nations is already happening. So a lot of things are happening. Countries are paying their nationals that live in their country. Some people call them citizens. I call them nationals. Large sums of money and putting it into their financial account. One example that I gave is Guyana, which is from a South American nation. The president from Guyana said, I'm going to give every national, one article says that the age of 21 and over, some article says 18 and over. So I'll just say 18 and over. I'm going to give my nationals a one-time grant of $100,000 for them to do whatever they will. There are other nations like rich oil nations that have already done it. They've been doing it. So this whole idea that it's not going to happen is just something that I want us to not receive, because it is happening. Countries are giving their nationals hundreds of thousands of dollars, some for a one-time grant, some every single month. And it will happen in America. Here's one of my videos I want you to see, that it was prophesied that you would have wealth. What does the Bible say? What does God say? The reason why I brought up this video is because in the video, for the people that are Christians that watch the show, some people don't feel good about receiving wealth, and they feel that it's not in their best interest to have wealth, that God doesn't really look favorably on people that are wealthy. And so I wanted to show what the scripture says wealth is, how God gauges wealth. And the way God gauges wealth is that he calls wealth land, cattle, silver, and gold. And I explain it in this video here. And that's a short video. Most of my videos are long, but this one is less than an hour. It's like 50 minutes or less. I think it's a lot less. Let me see how short that is. So I would advise you to watch that video if you need some encouragement about, it being okay to be wealthy. But underneath that video, it was telling. Let's see. Somebody says the lack of money is the root of all evil, not actually having money. Let's see if I could find a testimony of somebody having their debt canceled. I just want to say, Dawn Thompson says, my best friend called me this morning to say her friend and neighbor just had a $6,000 credit card debt forgiven. A letter was sent to her from the creditor. We all don't live in the best area, but people around here are becoming believers finally. So if you look at those two videos, not just for the information, but because underneath the videos, people are giving their testimonies about debt being canceled, I think it would be very encouraging for most people, especially those who aren't sure if anything that we've been saying is going to happen. It's already happening. So for people who felt, discouraged, I would say stay encouraged. Again, a lot of the coded messages are for each other, for the elites to speak to each other. And what I mean by elites are Elites. The Elohim are speaking to each other. Okay. In codes is not really necessarily for us, that like they want us. If you know and understand the codes, then that's fine. That's okay. They don't mind, but they're really talking to each other. But the rituals are to usher in what they desire to happen and to siphon our energy. Whether you're excited about the game or you disappointed about the game, you're going to emit some type of energy that they harness and they use it for their benefit. So the so-called negative energy or psychic energy that you emit from your body, if you are upset or traumatized or afraid or worried, is loosh. They feed off of that. But they also feed off of the so-called good energy. If you're excited and you're all invested and you're all in, that's why some people who are wise elders or just some people who don't want to have any part of it will say, just turn the TV off. Don't even get involved, no matter what side you're on, because they know they're harnessing our energy. I haven't said that, family. I don't have much else to say, except for I'm standing on what I said, that the republic is being restored. And then we will return to, tribal customs, or natural law. Natural law is also common law or universal law. What else did I want to say? President Trump said that the Chiefs were supposed to win. That was his prediction. I showed the article where he said that. After the game, he said that the worst part of the Super Bowl was the kickoff. He said the ball was sailing through the air and then the entire field frozen. He likes that word frozen. Remember when the Black Hawk plane collided with the Black Hawk helicopter collided with the American Airlines helicopter over Washington, D.C., which is the capital of the United States Incorporated? He said it plunged into the freezing waters of the Potomac because things are frozen. Everything's coming to a halt. Very, very interesting. And at the same time that was happening, the eastern part of the country was frozen. We had winter blasts or winter storms, not just the eastern part of the country, but it went all spread through the Midwest as well. So President Trump was very, I don't want to say upset, but concerned. And that's why he took to his Truth Social and he said the worst part of the Super Bowl was watching the kickoff where the ball is sailing through the air. The entire field is frozen, stiff. Everything's stiff. College football doesn't do that and won't. Whose idea was it to ruin the game? He got up and left halftime. So those are just my thoughts, and this is my perspective. It is the Dr. Kia Pruitt show. That's why I give my perspective. And I know a lot of people, wanted me to eat crow, or, people are on my different social media platform, and it's okay because I think that's what you do, when you have a couple people saying this team's going to win, somebody else said this team's going to win. I think you kind of like, go back and forth and make fun of each other. So maybe that's the intention, that they were just having fun. But some people said some very, very like harsh things. I won't go into what they said, but just suffice it to say that some of the videos that I do, I'll go public, and then I'm considering making them private and putting them in a private group for members only. And I want to hear your thoughts on that. Kay Jones says, I admire your courage and honesty, Dr. Kia. God bless you and Godspeed. United we stand, divided we fall. Nothing can stop what's coming. Give thanks, Militant Angel. Love you too. You're from Gambia, West Africa. What an honor to have you here. The bald eagle was officially adopted as the national emblem of the United States in 1782. Thank you, Know Thyself. Yes, and the United States is actually the branch of the Roman Empire. The United States Incorporated usurped authority from our republic, and they incorporated themselves in Delaware in 1871 as a nonprofit religious organization. Why religious? Because the Pope was supposed to head or lead the United States Incorporated. Why the Pope? Because it's part of the Roman Empire. So you're right. The eagle was officially adopted as the national emblem of the United States. What we're going to do right now with returning us back to the Republic is actually moving us from the United States Incorporated and putting the A back on and making the United States of America. We're going to now return us back to the Republic of America because they took that America off. And I think they capitalized United and States. So what I was told was the proper way to spell that out is lowercase u, United, N-I-T-E-D, lowercase S-T-A-T-E-S, of capital A, America. Very interesting. Not the all caps. Okay, the all caps represents the corporation or a dead entity. Thank you, Know Thyself. Hi, Crystal says, yes, Dr. Kia. Thank you. Deborah Wallace says, hello, Dr. Kia. Love you, our beautiful sister. Thank you. I love you too. I love you to life. Know Thyself. You say one. I should create a members only group. Thank you. Crystal says yes. Okay. Eyes wide open. High vibrations in San Ysidro, New Mexico. Okay, you guys are saying yes, we should have. Okay, we'll create a members only group. What took me so long to do that was I was thinking, oh, I want everybody to have all the information. I don't want to make a separate group. But what I'm noticing is that there's some information you do just want to share with people who can give their thoughts in a respectful way, and people who can challenge you in a respectful way. So I'm okay with being challenged or with somebody saying I don't see it from that perspective. But what I'm not okay with is like cussing me out and calling me names, things like that. And I think in a members only group, because we'll feel like we're a part of a smaller group or a subgroup, that we will honor each other. Just my thoughts. Love Being Nubian says yes. Leslie says yes. You're for it? Okay. Hi, Crystal, Grand Rising. Restore Mayat says the same thing. Okay. Wow. Oh, hi, Dudley. We covered my perspective, Dudley, why the Chiefs. I thought they were supposed to win too. My perspective of why they did it, this is me, okay, is, and Donald Trump said that they were going to win too. That's who he said was supposed to win. Is that they know the plays. This is just me. And too many of us wanted them to win. Too many of us called that play. And so they wanted to shake things up. But the other side of that, in all fairness, is that some people are saying that the Republic had a capital in Philadelphia. And that's true. And I did report that yesterday as well, that the Republic was in Philadelphia. And some people are saying that's why the Philadelphia Eagles won. So let us know what you think, Dudley. Because, even when you listen to me, everybody should, of course, this, use their own discernment and tap into your own tuition and what you think, what you know to be true, and go with that. But I'm interested and curious to see what you say. For those of you that are just checking in, this was a USA Today article that said, and I showed some of you this already, it said in an interview with Fox News, President Trump was taped at Mar-a-Lago, which is his estate in Palm Beach, Florida. There, the president picked the Kansas City Chiefs to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. He also said that he expects the changes that he implemented since taking over the White House 3 weeks ago. Not only was that supposed to happen, but some people were saying that they had heard that Elon Musk spent like $4 million. Was it $4 million on advertisements where he was supposed to bring out or expose how tax dollars were spent with U.S. aid and how tax dollars were misused and abused. But we didn't see that happen. So I'm not going to say that it's not true, because I know how they operate. When people were saying that was going to happen, mainstream media on all of their reports said that was a lie. All the reports said we fact checked that Elon Musk spent money into the ads and that he's going to reveal how tax dollars were spent, or he's going to reveal how U.S. aid was spent, but this is untrue. And I know just by, being awake for some time, that whenever mainstream media fact checks you or say something is untrue, it's usually the opposite. It's usually because they want you to think that you don't know what you're talking about. Melanada said it makes sense. People do not understand and will always interfere. Thank you, Dorothy. Okay, Pamela, Martha, Brandon. Oh, you guys are saying yes, we should have a private group. Okay. Okay, we'll do that. Can I do a poll on YouTube? Yes, I can. Okay, we'll do that. And so now in those private groups, they are paid membership, but I'll make it like really affordable so that, it won't break the bank, because some people have disposable income, but a lot of people don't have money to waste on things. I want this to be worth your time, where we're really having deep, in-depth conversations that are respectful and doesn't cost so much that people can't be a part of it. Crystal says people are being so negative and nasty. I saw a bunch of comments yesterday blaming you for the loss when there are higher beings in control. Thank you, Sister Crystal. I appreciate that. Yes, there are higher beings in control. I agree. Larry says the Eagles won because they're the better team. Thank you for that, Larry. They were pretty strong, weren't they? They played very well. Larry, how do you think the Chiefs played? Do you think they gave their all, or do you think they were told to stand down? Even though you support that the Eagles are a better team, what are your thoughts about the way the Chiefs played? I have a hard time not clapping back for you, Darcy said. Thank you, Darcy. I appreciate that. Man, people be going in like they get upset. Love Be a Nubian is our moderator. Hi, Love Be a Nubian. I love you, sister. Says I always take those out when I see those ignorant comments. Thank you, Love Being Nubian. I appreciate that. You want to be a part of the group, Ria? Okay. You can't afford to pay for it at this time. Currently homeless. Ria. What can the Soul family do to help you? How can we support you, Ria? If you feel comfortable putting it in the chat, how can we support you? Because it's a terrible thing to be homeless. My heart goes out to you. I'm so sorry. And I don't mean to like pity you or anything. I just know that can't be easy. We got to end this war, family. Divine Hazel says like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Lay, you came in late. Basically, we just said that President Trump actually picked the Chiefs to win. From Mar-a-Lago, he said that they would win before the game. And then at the end of the game, or sometimes was it the end of the game? Let me look at the time. Yeah, it was at the end of the game at 11:15 p.m. last night. He talked about how there was a particular kickoff that happened in the game. The kickoff, he said, the ball went sailing through the air and the entire field became frozen stiff. And he said, college football doesn't do that. And he wondered whose idea it was to ruin the game. Then I also shared how Donaldo Trumpo, which is Trump's burner account, according to some, said the Super Bowl halftime show sucked. And I looked at the gematria of that and looked at the comms or the coded messages of what he was saying. So if you do the replay and you can skip over it, maybe go 1.5 times or double time, you can go times 2. The speed will go faster. You would speed it up. You can see what we talked about. So you didn't miss much. Green Eye says, I think they were saying Philadelphia because that's considered the birthplace of the United States and the home of the early American Republic. It was the first capital of the country, serving from 1790 to 1800. Thank you, Green Eyes. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. We all know that professional sports are rigged, Mel says. They even brought this up to the players. Wow. Willie Lump says, you want a private group for people who won't hold you accountable. No, I want a private group of people who can be respectful. You can hold me accountable. Hold me accountable for what I said. And I'm standing on business. And I'm not taking it back. I'm not a chump. Hold me accountable for what? Sticking to my word, feeling what I feel, knowing what I know on my channel, saying what I want to say. It's your free will to take it or not. Everybody should listen to information using their own discernment. Hold me accountable for what? We just want respect, my darling. Ria says, I just thought that you would come back and tell us what happened, just like you are now. Yes, I'm telling you what happened. Thank you so much, according to my perspective. And then some people in the chat are telling me from their perspective too, and I respect that. And they're being respectful. I appreciate that. Mel says everyone can have an opinion, but just be respectful. I agree. The Chiefs were not allowed to cheat this time. Oh, is that true, Larry? Okay. Thank you for that. Amelia says, of course they're rigged. They didn't look upset. Maybe they're paid off, right? Greetings, Divine Abundance. It's good to see you. Lead Tech says, I believe it was rigged. All of a sudden, the Chiefs just fell apart. Come on now. I hear you, Lead Tech. Virginia says, that's so true. They were not even trying to play. That's the way I saw it, too. It looked clearly rigged to me. It looked like they had no energy. I agree, Dudley. And somebody asked me, did I think they looked sick? Somebody was like, they look sick to me. I was like, wow, they did look weak. I don't know. I didn't know what was going on with the Chiefs. They just seemed like they weren't even trying. You fell asleep. Oh, wow. Lou Roggs was saying, me and my children were saying the same thing today. Wow. Wow. Greeting, Divine Abundance. Good evening, everybody. Let's see what Almond says. Almond Cookie says, I read yesterday, someone said the Chiefs losing was for the $5 Indians losing their night. That makes sense, too. I agree. Did you hear something to that effect? Yes, somebody said that earlier in the chat. So that could be it. The Chiefs represent the $5 Indians. Who do you think the Eagles represent? Because we do know that the eagle symbol was chosen for the Roman Empire. Who do you think the Eagles represents? And the United States Incorporated is the Roman Empire. Let's see if I can find this. Here you go. I was just going to show you this, just the headline of an article that says that the eagle symbol represents the United States. I mean, Roman Empire, excuse me. Where is that? Eagle, symbol of Rome. In Rome, the symbol of Rome, the eagle, was often shown accompanied by a serpent. They symbolize good in the form of an eagle triumphing over evil, which was represented by a snake. Okay, this one says that the eagle is good and the snake was evil. Some say that the eagle was chosen because of its prowess, and the snake energy is the energy of a protector. So it depends on how you read, which article you say, or which ideology you support. The origin of the eagle as a symbol dates back to the time of the European community, when the eagle as a symbol of strength became the attribute of the first of the gods. Okay. In the Roman Empire, the eagle over time became the emblem of the emperor as the head of the army, and even the universal symbol of the Roman state. After the transfer of the capital to Constantinople and the consolidation of the dualistic character of the empire, the symbolism of the double-headed eagle became widespread, where the two heads symbolized two capitals, Rome on the west and Constantinople on the east. And very interesting. That's where I got that from, that the eagle represents the Roman Empire and the United States Incorporated. And it is the symbol for the United States, where it was, the eagle. I'm not sure what the symbol was for the republic that was before or predates the United States Incorporated. If you know, can you put it in the chat, please? Let's see if there's any other articles that talk about the eagle representing the Roman Empire. Oh, the eagle bearer. Here's one that talks about the eagle bearer. Just one more, because I don't want to be on long today. Look, I was talking about fasting, so this ad on fasting came up. No, I want to see. Aquila Roman eagle, the iconic symbol and legacy of ancient Rome. The Aquila Roman eagle holds profound significance in the history of ancient Rome, serving as a revered symbol and religious emblem for the Roman soldiers. Its loss was considered a grave event. Okay. The article goes into symbolism, the military tactics that's associated with the Aquila eagle, as well as the battles where it was lost and efforts that it took to recover them. Lastly, it touches upon the contemporary influence and representation of this iconic Roman symbol. And then it goes into the history and origins. Okay. Okay. And that's what it looks like. But other people have said that maybe the reason the eagles won is because the eagles represent freedom, like being free as a bird, free as an eagle, soaring. Other people gave that interpretation, and I respect that too. Darcy said, I refuse to watch it. Thank you, Danny Angel. It's good to see you. I always enjoy your comments on my Facebook page and on a YouTube channel. Danny says, I think at the end of the day, nothing can or should be in time frames or absolutes. Everything is energy. Very good statement, and malleable. People are extremely vulnerable at this time. Thank you so much. Those are words of wisdom. Thank you for sharing that. Ria says, I was worried that it was rigged myself. I didn't watch it. I just looked up the info of the win on Google. Greetings, everyone. Love Being Nubian said, I said they just gave away that game. That's the way it looked to me. They gave it away. Green Eye says that the founding fathers met in Philadelphia, Independence Hall, Liberty Bell. The Constitution was drafted and signed in Philadelphia. Maybe they were leaning towards going back to the Constitution, right? And the Constitution for our republic. I see that. I can see that, Green Eyes. Thank you for sharing that. Trilette says, I only saw spirit, power, and football players. They were their self. It seems the one was talking. They had not. See, I don't know what you're saying at the end of that. Mel says you were right. They weren't playing. The Chiefs weren't playing. It was rigged. You could tell. Some people resonate with what I say, and some people don't. And I think it's cool. Thank you, Mel. And I appreciate the respectful comments in the chat, family. Thank you so much. Observe Thinks There says, sis, we are not mad at you. One comments. Somebody says, our comments were all in love. You are absolutely right about the Chiefs not even trying. Thank you, Observe, Think, Share. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Most comments were in love, and I think other comments that maybe felt like it wasn't in love was probably people we get in our emotions, right, when it comes to things like this, and we like to take jabs at each other and say, hey, I told you I was right, you were wrong. So I appreciate your comments. Ezra says it's all rigged. The world is a stage. Wow. Politics is rigged too. Thank you. There is a video with news anchor Brett. What does it say, Rasta? Yeah, they gave away so many sacks. It was just very interesting how it just didn't seem like they were playing, like something was off. Damming says, wholeness and power to you all. You can tell that the game was rigged. Look at how they kept allowing Mahomes to get sacked. No protection from his team, and Travis didn't get to do anything, Crystal Gold says. They don't want Trump to win, right? So, family, why do you all think Trump predicted that the Chiefs would win? Why would he say that? What do you think that was about? Do you think he meant it, or do you think he was just, trying to throw somebody off? Why would he say that? He predicted that they would win. Of course, he hated the halftime Super Bowl, which a lot of people did. And he said that they ruined the game. And then he got up and left during halftime. I think it was at halftime. Here we go. Oh, that was you, Craig. Craig, I didn't. Let's see. The same. You know what? Somebody else said that, Craig. I just showed this. Somebody saying the same thing. Craig says, my BFF watched the fourth quarter and he saw the score at 40-37 and the Chiefs won in the last minute. Spirit showed the people what they wanted to see, but if you're in the fifth dimension, you've seen it. Craig, literally, someone else said the same thing. Jamie said that. They saw the game 40-37 that the Chiefs have won. That's wild. I did a video that says there are two timelines, and the timelines were being split. So some people that are on a higher dimension see one thing and other people see something completely different. They can be sitting side by side. I appreciate that. Carmen says they played the God Bless America. God Bless the USA, the third quarter. Okay. Tracy said that she didn't see the game, but when she saw the score, she knew something wasn't right. It was rigged, Angela says. Crystal said, I feel that you don't even have to explain yourself. A lot is happening and God is in control. I appreciate that. You're right. Yeah, the Chiefs did kind of seem like they checked out. Craig Beach says, my BFF's never seen any of those scores. They didn't see the scores that we saw? That's wild. Damning Beaver says they just renamed the American eagle on the national land. Oh, okay. Okay. Yes, I can read the chat. You're saying the score was 27-27. I didn't see that. Suzanne said, yes, the Chiefs did win. It was shown that the ref was compromised. Of course this happened. It was? Why was it shown that the referee was compromised? Wow. I'm gonna see if I can find it. If you find out a link to the article, would you let us know, please? Wow. I can't wait to see that. Ooh, 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 ooh. Let's look at this. Thank you for bringing up that point. Who is that? Suzanne Bryant. You said the Chiefs did win it. It was shown that the ref was compromised. Of course, this happened. This is an article I found. I don't know if this is what you're talking about, but if you find a link, can you bring it to the family so we can pull it up? "2025 Super Bowl, DeAndre Hopkins questions officiating and calls out the media over refs after a loss to the Eagles. This is a pretty bad look for the Chiefs receiver," this person says. What's this? Here we go. After a year's worth of noise about the Chiefs getting too many calls and preferential treatment from NFL officials, the week leading up to Super Bowl was a veritable fever pitch around the fairness of officiating in Kansas City. Roger Goodall got asked several questions about it. After the outcomes of the games, about it, current NFL players suggested that the outcomes of the games were rigged. The players, let me read that again. After a year's worth of noise about the Chiefs getting too many calls and preferential treatment from NFL officials, the week leading up to Super Bowl, what's that? What's L14? Y'all, I'm not good on my Roman numerals. This is 9. What's an L before the 9? Is that 59? Super Bowl 59? There was a veritable fever pitch around fairness of officiating in Kansas City games. Roger Goodall got asked several questions about it. Current NFL players suggested the outcome of the games were rigged. The referee union had to release a statement, and it felt like every Chiefs player was being forced to talk about the issue. In the wake of the Eagles' 40-22 destruction of the Chiefs on Sunday night, at least one Chief player is still talking about officiating. DeAndre Hopkins, speaking to the media after the Super Bowl, wanted to know if the media was going to talk about the touchy calls that went against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. What? He said, I saw a lot of things in the media about the refs, but obviously, what y'all going to say now about the refs and us? What y'all going to say? When there was a lot of touchy calls, are y'all going to report that? Are y'all going to talk about the refs now? My, how the tables have turned. So I don't know, family, if they're going to go into detail about that, about how the Chiefs players are questioning the calls of the referees in that game. But let's keep our eyes on that and see what happens. He went on to say, let's be frank, this ain't it. Complaining about the officials after getting drubbed for the entirety of the game. This is a terrible look. The Chiefs didn't lose because of the officiating in this game. Even if it were possible, and maybe even likely, the officials in this Super Bowl game were obviously not going to be a factor. This says, I keep losing it. Dang, sorry, y'all. This often happens for some reason when I'm reporting. I start having problems. Thanks. I don't even know where we were. The lengthy public discussion about the Chiefs and officiating probably didn't do Kansas City any favors, but make no mistake, the Eagles beat the pants off the Chiefs. This article goes on to say, in this game from start to finish. It was never close, and officiating had nothing to do with it, according to the article. Kansas City Chiefs finished with 7 penalties. There's that number 7 completion for 75 yards, and the Eagles finished with 8 penalties for 59 yards. 9 plus 5 equals 14. Y'all know what I said 14 represents. The Chiefs undoing. Where were we? The Chiefs undoing was their inability to move the ball on offense against an elite Philly defense. Patrick Mahomes threw a terrible pick six and then threw an even worse interception down by the goal line. But I think it's just interesting that they're questioning the refs, and I'll look to see if more players talk about it or if it'll come out that the game was rigged. But I had no idea that they were questioning. Suzanne said the Chiefs did win, and it was shown that the ref was compromised. Wow. So you're saying that the score kept changing, Craig? Then it was 35-35. I don't know what timeline you and your best friend are on. I did not see that. Thank you for sharing it, though. Someone says something about concussions. Okay. First man says, I think there was a hex that was put on the Chiefs because it was almost as if they had no energy to play. A lot of people were saying it looked like they had no energy. Please look at this, Kia. What do you want me to look at, Craig? Show it. We'll bring it up. Tylette says the football player high spirit in them. That's why they won. All right. We put our thoughts on in chat. You're not checking. Oh, you did, Almond. I'm checking. I'm in the chat. I'm reading from the chat, darling. Or maybe you're talking to someone else. Okay. Thank you, Anthony. Dorothy says at one time Dorothea says at one time the score was 14-40. those numbers that I spoke of. Yes, I did. 14 and 40 or 41. I sure did speak on those numbers and said what they meant. One represents king, the other represents white supremacy. Maybe we're supposed to see the cheating. Any thoughts? Thank you so much for the Cash App blessing. I appreciate it, family. Maybe we're supposed to see the cheating. Any thoughts? That's a good point, Sarah. I'm interested to see what the family thinks. Thank you for 768 people being in the chat. I appreciate you, family. Mel Richardson says, I think it will come out that the game was fixed. Wow. Thank you. We see they're questioning it. Teresa said, yes, indeed. I felt in my spirit something was wrong. You know, family, the reason why I said what I said emphatically is because that's what I really felt in my spirit, and I'm just speaking from my heart, my spirit, inspiration, I was inspired. I felt a burning flame in my soul that this is what was supposed to happen. And that's why I spoke so emphatically. But I want to show you, keep talking in the chat, family, what Trump said about a rigged horse race. Was it Country Day? Who was that was supposed to win? Who was that? I think it was 2020 when it happened. There was a horse race at the Kentucky Derby, and Trump called him out on it. Trump said, keep talking to the chat, family. Let's see if I can find that. I need to, yeah. I think this is it. Trump slams the Derby results as political correctness. Okay, I think this might be it. Yes. I'm in agreement with whoever said that they're going to challenge this call against the Chiefs. Well, we already see them challenging it, and that it very well could come out that it was rigged. So this was in 2019, the year before Trump stepped down or lost the election, before his first term was over. There was a horse race at the Kentucky Derby where two horses, of course, were, racing against. No, it was a whole bunch of horses racing against each other. One won the race, and another one was the runner-up. Well, once he run the game, the horse run the game or the race, everybody was excited. They were happy because, especially those of us who understand codes, we were like, oh, that's the one that was supposed to win because they want us to see that Trump is in control. Well, then at the end of the race, they disqualified the winner and gave it to somebody else. And Trump spoke out about it. He said this was about political correctness. So this was May the 5th. That's when they have the Kentucky Derby, the first Saturday in Louisville, Kentucky. This was 2019. The United States President Trump on Sunday, the day after the Derby, blasted the results of the Kentucky Derby's horse race, saying the controversial disqualification of the first winner or first finisher, maximum security, could only happen in these days of political correctness. That's who won, maximum security. And those of us who understand codes were saying maximum security is going to win the game because Trump was talking about securing the borders and make sure we had maximum security, not allowing MS-13 gang members to come, not to allow criminals to come into our borders. So a lot of people were excited that maximum security won the horse race. Then at the end of the race, the referee said it wasn't so. So again, President Donald Trump blasted the results of the Kentucky Derby horse race, saying that the controversial disqualification of the first finisher, maximum security, could only happen in these days, quote, of political correctness. The Kentucky Derby's decision was not a good one. It was a rough and tumble race on a wet and sloppy track. Actually, a beautiful thing to watch, Trump wrote on his Twitter account. Only in these days of political correctness could such an overturn occur. The best horse did not win the Kentucky Derby, Not even close, because maximum security had won, and then they called it and said that the weaker horse had won. He said that weaker one wasn't the best one. And let's see. Here you go. In a stunning reversal, second finisher and long shot Country House, that was the name of the second one, was declared the winner of Saturday's 145th Kentucky Derby at Churchill Downs at Louisville, after maximum security had become the first horse in the history of the race to ever be disqualified for an on-track infraction after crossing the line first. He clearly won. Let me let this article stop. Country House's team had objected to maximum security's win, saying that the 9-2 favorites' wide turn heading into the soggy homestretch impeded other horses. After a 20-minute video review, the officials found maximum security guilty of a contact foul and handed the win to Country Horse. So maximum security had won. After that, everybody was celebrating. The referees then reviewed the tapes and said that the maximum security had cheated, that he hadn't won, that he was guilty of home stretch impediment. And they even showed the video, and people were watching the video and showed that he did not impede anything, that he clearly won fairly. But I'm just showing you, President Donald Trump called him out and said this was about political correctness, that he had called it and said maximum security would win, and had even related it to having our country completely secure. So all I'm saying is that sometimes referees don't follow the rules, or they follow their own rules. And it's up to us to determine or decide what's true and what's not. And at the end of the day, these are a bunch of elite people anyway. Chief Mack always tells me that. These are just a bunch of elite people or actors on the world stage playing a game. It's best to preserve your energy. He always tells me, preserve your energy, because all the world is a stage. We know that there a war is going on between good and evil. And so they're playing their games, they're doing their rituals, and they're harvesting the energy of the people that watch their rituals. That's how they become empowered. Let's see, what else? Much love and respect for you, Dr. Kia, being an honorable woman of your word. May the Most High continue to bless you and protect you and yours. Thank you so much. That was very kind of you to say, Becky. I appreciate you and I love you. Thank you. All right, family. Is there anything else? Craig says, you were not wrong, Kia, and they did win. Please look at my comments, please. I saw your comments where you were saying that, some people actually saw that the Chiefs had won, and most of the people didn't see that. If I missed something else, let me know. 1 second. This is my family. Who is this? Chango said, remember Her Royal Highness, is that what HRH stand for? Empress Rarebird and some of the tribal clan mothers went to Philadelphia, yes, May the 13th, 2024, to reclaim their seats. I heard about that. I stand with you no matter what. The Chiefs will walk the land. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Craig, I think I read all of your comments about the Chiefs winning. I saw where you said the score at one point was 35-35. from where you saw. Wow. And you're saying your friend never saw any of those scores that I just said. That's deep. Wow. Thank you. Someone cheated. The Chiefs didn't win. There were lots of mixed signals. Hi, honeybee. Deborah says, Sister Deborah Wallace. Hi, Sister Deborah. I believe you, Dr. Key. I didn't watch the game, but I heard it wasn't a good game. Thank you. Well, I saw your comments. Who was that? Adrian said she thought that Kendrick Lamar did a good job. I heard quite a few people that they said they really enjoyed his performance. And most people, even if they didn't like the performance, said they liked the cues that he dropped. Like I think he said the games are rigged. Somebody sent me a clip. He said the games were rigged. And what else did he say? Game over. So some people like that. I'm gonna see if I can find that for you. People like the fact that Serena Williams crip walked. I guess that's entertainment. I wasn't impressed. But because I was like, what's the big deal? But some people were saying because Serena Williams was the ex-girlfriend of Drake, and this guy who was singing, Kendrick Lamar, was dissing Drake, at the Super Bowl. And so to have his ex-girlfriend, a crip walk, representing Compton, and the fact that she used to be with Drake and now she's dissing him with Kendrick Lamar made people all excited. I was like, dang, the disrespect. But that's what a diss track is. That's what dissing is about, I reckon. I'm gonna see if I can find the clips. So on my Facebook page, I asked everybody to talk about the codes and the codes at the Super Bowl. And my girlfriend Nikki, hi Nikki, if you're on, sent me clips of Kendrick Lamar. So I'm gonna see if we can listen to what he said. I don't know if you guys even want to hear this, but some people said they appreciate the fact that he said a few things. So him saying the games are rigged, it was not new news for you all. Y'all know this. Music. You really about to do it? You tried to rig the game, but you can't fake influence. You tried to rig the game, but you can't fake influence. That's what he said at one time. Let's see what else. There was another part. And I'm sure you guys saw that he said, warning, game over. Let's see if you can see that. Oh, it's right there. It's right here. It says warning at the top, and right here it says game over. Let's see if I can make it bigger. Warning, you see that? Game over. We'll see what happens with them challenging the score and challenging the referees if they come out with any new information. They said they should have had Chris Brown there. And some people said they should have had Chris Brown or Lil Wayne, because Lil Wayne is from there, the city in which they have the Super Bowl. I agree. Love Being Nubian says this is a we shall see type of situation. They know that we're awake, so they changed it big time. That's how I felt. Thank you. I said they're whack. I did say that they were whack. I said that I felt like the dancers were whack. Oh, Adrian said I stopped looking at Super Bowl. I stopped looking at hip hop in the 2000s. A lot of people benefited from this cricket system. Yes, they did. Okay, any more comments, family? It's RV time, Jeffrey says. Yes, President Trump was in attendance of the game, then he got up and left. after the halftime score. He said that he didn't like something that happened at the kickoff with the kickoff, and he asked whose idea was it to ruin this game. Oh, I wanted the Chiefs to win. I predicted that the Chiefs would win. The Chiefs did not win, according to what we saw. The Eagles won. Who is that to ask the question? ICRO. Yes. Craig is saying that he and his best friend saw other scores that the Chiefs had won, and then some people on this timeline in the chat are saying that even though the Eagles won, that they're challenging it, and some people are calling the refs out and saying that they threw the game. It was a great message. Oh, I didn't know Lil Wayne was banned. Okay. Lil Wayne is banned. He posted a video showing that the Super Bowl is rigged. What? I didn't know that. Wow. Thank you for saying that. Ooh, they're not gonna like that. Hmm. I was seeing if I could find that. Wow. Oh, Lil Wayne. Okay. Oh, so Lil Wayne was supposed to be. Oh, I didn't know he was supposed to do it. I just know that people said that he should have. Let me show you right this. I don't want to keep y'all too long. Um, and people say you say that all the time. Lil Wayne Super Bowl halftime show controversy explained. Lil Wayne hoped to get a chance to strut his stuff at Super Bowl 59. 9 plus 5 is 14. Lil Wayne hoped to get his chance to strut his stuff at the Super Bowl 59 at the Superdome. Instead, league organizers opted for Kendrick Lamar, okay, to receive the opportunity. Okay. Wow. Here it said Lil Wayne has decided to skip out on the Super Bowl after the rapper felt he was snubbed for the halftime show. Wow. Back in September, it was revealed Kendrick Lamar would be taking center stage. Okay. Thank you. James says, I think funny business went on. The chief did not look like themselves. And we all know how the secret societies get down. So I wouldn't put too much into it. Thank you, James. Hmm. The game was played at the Caesar Superdome. I'm sure there is some reason for that. Thank you, Rodtech. Vivian Harrison. Dr. Kia, no response is necessary for disrespectful people. Consider the source. Wow. No, did anybody see the Elon commercials that we were told was going to happen? Because I didn't. Thank you for the Cash App blessing. I appreciate you. God bless you. Have a smile on you. Renee says, asked, did anybody see the Elon commercials? We were told that Elon spent millions of dollars and he was supposed to show commercials that would call out United States aid and other agencies, governmental agencies that was wasting and misusing our money. I didn't see those commercials. But we did see symbolism everywhere. Samuel Jackson is Uncle Sam. Okay. Mm. Somebody said this Uncle Sam was a Negro all this time. Mm. Melanated said I should have Chief Rod Hayes on the show to bring it to the negatives trying to stop our rise. We've had him on several times, and I think you're saying have him back to help us with the decode. Okay. Allie Carter, was she there at the Super Bowl or did she say something? Oh, I didn't want the other team to win because of Taylor Swift. I hear you. Village Baker says, I saw the board change from 24 to 22. Wow. Wow. All football is rigged. The Chiefs got their rear end kicked. They did. You thought you were seeing things. Isn't that crazy? You saw what you saw. Tech Channel says the game was played at the Caesar Superdome. Caesar in gematria is 666. Hmm. So 666 is a number of the elite. Some say it's a nefarious number or an ominous number, a number you should be afraid of or worried about. It's supposed to be the number of the devil. 666, from another perspective, it actually is about 6 proton, 6 neutron, and 6 electron, which come out to be carbon. Carbon is in all life. A version of carbon, of course, is melanin. And some people say everything that they've been doing, talking in codes, talking about 666, was about carbon or melanated people the whole time. That's what some people say. Thank you, Tech channel. Okay. We're taking down Rome. Absolutely. Before the bald eagle. Oh, thank you. It's been a while. Who said that? Thank you for the Cash App blessing. Okay, I appreciate you. Uh, Before the bald eagle became the national symbol of the United States, a partially clothed indigenous woman with a feather headdress was used. Okay, I asked the question, what was used before that? Wow, thank you. Wow. George said that was the worst halftime show he ever seen in his life. He couldn't stand any of it. It was no entertainment whatsoever. And you weren't the only one. President Trump said the same thing. Black Sheep, thank you. That's the thing, Black Sheep says. Y'all looking for entertainment when there was clearly a message. Thank you. There were 4 commercials with Elon Musk, or 4 Elon Musk commercials. Oh, wow. Hey now, Joe. Thank you. Jimi Hendrix and Samuel Jackson. You saying cheating election 2020. You're saying Samuel Jackson is Jimi Hendrix. Wow. A lot of those people are playing double roles or triple roles. Roles, ROLES. Thank you. The eagle is one of God's animals, Troy says. There's a new category for social commentary, Jill says. And it was all rigged. Yes. All football is rigged. Everything's done by design. Okay, family, I'm getting tired. We've been on for 1 hour and 42 minutes. Caesar equals Rome cheating election says. Ooh, hold on. I got to read this comment. Sin Melbert says, I think Samuel L. represents the black hand. Are you talking about the black hand that's really controlling things? That would make sense. We always talk about bloodline families, how there are people that are running things that we know about, and then there are people that are behind the so-called elite that's running the elite. And many people say it's the black hand, the black nobility, the dirty Moors that came from Europe. Depends on how you see things. He could be the black hand, the one that's really pulling the puppet strings. Maybe that's what he represents. That's what Sin is saying, represents the black hand. Thank you. Felicia says, Dr. Kia, you're doing your work. Don't stop. They're using AI like crazy to represent false events. Thank you. Sports was created to distract the people. Good point, Levancy, from the evil that these people in power do. We're not paying attention. It's all a ritual. Crystal said, however, the house is being cleansed. Someone else says, Empress says, well, the Chiefs have been playing cheating all season. So maybe you're saying they got back what they put out. Yunka, have you seen Elon's competition with the cars that are self-powered from Zimbabwe? No, I haven't. Wow. Before the Eagles was the rattlesnake. Huh. Yeah, I agree. Troy Marr says the greatest halftime performance by far was Michael Jackson. No one comes even close. Yes, everything is about the copper color piece people, Melanated says. The matrix is coded, our name, our existence, everything is about us. Even the hurricanes, weather manipulation, where they only do it in certain areas because they're coming for our organs and our blood, our essence. A lot of the surgeries that they've done, taking the wombs out of women, starting with the melanated women. These people are evil, putting abortion clinics in our community, putting drugs and guns in our community. It's wild, casting us in a negative light in television in Hollywood. All other women they'll make a wife, but they'll make a melanated so-called Black American woman a bed wench or a hoe, you know, or some. I don't want to say hoe. Or they'll make us have appear to have insatiable sexual desires where we can't control our energy and can't control our body and can't control our libido. What's bad about it all is that some of us feed into it and we go along with it. That's the problem I have. That supersedes what they're doing. You know, you're right. Everything's about us. I'm like, why do we have to play into that? We have to rise above it. Oh, Christopher says, for our survival in 2025, we must learn and engage in diplomatics daily. There are abuses occurring in each second of the day without intervention. Foreign service agents are charged with disrupting us. Thank you for those words of wisdom. I agree. Through diplomatics, you treat yourself because you are engaging as a sovereign and not as a citizen. Sovereigns make treaties while citizens get treated however their masters desire. However, their masters or leaders want to treat them. Wow. Thank you. Samuel Jackson equals Django. Yes, I remember him in Django. He was the Black Hand. He didn't he cry when Massa died? I mean, like he cried more than the family. Was he the house Negro? Oh, child. 1 hour, 42 minutes equals 14, 42, 24. Gematria is Black people. Wow. When I said we were on 1 hour, 42 minutes. Wow. Thank you. That's wow. Thank you so much for sharing. All right. Somebody says, listen to Rod Hayes. I will. They're often talking about bloodlines, Troy said. There's a new movie coming out called Final Destination Bloodlines. You're welcome. Melissa says, thank you, Queen. Don't forget, a lot of negative comments are coming from bots. You know, that's true, Amelia. I have to remember that. It's not even real people or humans. 444 watching from where Sandy Hill is. Awesome. I like those numbers, the vibrational frequencies of the four. From where I'm standing, because I'm looking at all of the platforms, there's 743 people in the chat. So I think 444 people are watching from YouTube. Thank you, Sandy. Hello, Tim. It's good to see you. All eugenics will end. Thank you for the reminder, Troy. Better choices will be made. Kula enjoyed the halftime show. Kula says Kendrick Lamar's halftime show was fire. He was exposing the P word, mainly Drake. He already did that in his songs. Like everybody knows his song. I mean, he did it in front of the world, but people all over the world already knew that. Was that like some big secret that he dropped to open the eyes of people? Is that what you're saying, Kula? Or you're just saying it's just kind of cool that he reiterated what he said? Hit the like button, family. So support for the show. Thank you, Green Eyes. It's them who can't control their hormones. Woo-wee. Thank you, Love being Nubian. Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson did cry in that movie when the master of the house died. That was That I don't know if I think I did see that movie, but I remember that scene. I was saying I don't know if I saw the whole movie, but I may have. But I remember that scene. I remember cracking up. Blessings to you, Jerry. It's always been about us from the beginning. Thank you, love being Nubian. Melaneda says, love you with joy and kindness. I greatly appreciate your time. Hit them up, family. Dr. Kia, just think, creating a private channel gives them what they want. It limits the truth from being heard by the masses. I hear what you're saying, and I will consider that. My thoughts were to make it public and then put it in private. That's what some content creators do. They'll put something out for the masses, let people know it's going to be showing. And then, people, and then leave it up briefly, but take it down and put it in private. And then some things you show in public, you need to put in private because you'll get banned. So even when I was doing my show yesterday, they kept interfering with the live. The people that were on saw it. My show disappeared. I disappeared. I came back. People couldn't hear me. They couldn't see me. And this happens very often. And then some things that I show that I talk about that they don't want talked about, or they're maybe not ready for the people to know, or maybe they just don't like me, or somebody's reporting me, will move them to take down my videos or my channel. So I have to be very careful what I put out to the masses. I've been, sharing a lot of information for many years, nearly a decade, and I've had several channels taken. I've had videos removed. I've had money stolen. YouTube owes me a lot of money where they just won't pay me. And you just wonder if it's worth it. Yes, I enjoy getting the information out to the masses, but then I want to protect myself, my energy, and my channel. But I hear what you're saying, and I will consider that, Rhea. Thank you. Everyone that I know wanted the Chiefs to lose. People are tired of them cheating. Okay, did you hear what Tom Brady said about the Chiefs owner's wife? That the Chiefs owner's wife was paying the refs off, and he has proof? No, I didn't. Charles says that the game looked animated, like a PlayStation game. It was weird. And they even showed a symbol. Somebody pointed that out on one of my in the comment section of one of my posts on Facebook, that it looked like a game. And let me see if I can find it right quick. It's probably deep in there because there were a lot of comments. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I had problems on Rumble too. No comments on something for the masses. Lady L asked, did you hear President Trump is saving money? He's stopping the minting of pennies. I heard that. Save your pennies, family. I believe they will become collector's items, Lady L said. That's a good point. Save them. YouTube is the deep state. Rhea says, Dr. Kia, you asked, how can you help me? Pray for my son and me. We sure will. We're sending you lots of positive energy right now. We ask our ancestors and the Creator to protect you, to put protective energy and protective angels around you, and to work out your situation so that you and your son can have a place to stay and all the things that you need. So, family, I'm asking you to please send all your energy. You can direct your hands to her, or just your energy to Sister Rhea and her son, who's going through a lot right now. I believe she's the one that says she's homeless, and they're going through some financial challenges. So let's do what we can to support her and send her positive thoughts, energy, and high vibrations. Tom Brady said that he has irrefutable proof that the Chiefs owner's wife had been paying the refs. Wow. Well, I say bring it on. They all the games are rigged. They all rig it, They even the so-called good people that are in power are going to rig things for our favor. They're going to pay people off. They're going to tell people what to say. They're going to force some people to step down. They're going to sign deals. to your point, the games are rigged. Everything is rigged. It's in whose favor are you rigging things? Are you rigging things in favor of we the people or for the deep state? YouTube is too woke. I agree, Crystal. Allie Carter was on the green screen. What? Thank you, Melissa. Allie Carter was somebody who has come out after years of being in hiding because she is one of the children that's now an adult that had been put through MK Ultra mind programming and several types of abuse. And some people have said that that's Tupac's daughter. I'm not saying that it is or not. I'm just saying that's what people are saying. The worst Super Bowl, in my opinion, was the Broncos versus the Seahawks in 2014, Troy says. Oh, you emailed me. Love being Nubian emailed at me about the wife. Thank you. Trump is getting rid of the penny, these coins, in order to bring in the New World Order, the mark of the beast, according to Fiona Bryant. Some people say that, and then some people say that he's getting rid of the penny because, the penny represents the copper-colored people, they say, which is why the president that's there is facing the opposite direction. They say he's facing the right, whereas everybody else facing the left. I think that's what it is. But some people say he's removing the copper-colored penny because he's removing the copper-colored Aboriginal people classified as Black from the United States Incorporated or from the system. It depends on which side you lean on, in terms of how you see that. I haven't dug enough into it, Fiona, but I will. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Send love and blessings to Rhea and her son, Crystal says. You're welcome, Rhea. Tim says, Dr. Kia, did you hear about Mahomes? How he was born a girl and he had a transformation operation from Patricia to Patrick. I hadn't heard that about him, but I hear that they all do that they're all transformers. I mean, I don't want to upset anybody, but Kendrick Lamar looked awfully zesty to me. I'm just saying, I was looking, when I saw him, I had never seen him before. I was like, wow, those hips look kind of feminine to me. And I don't know, some look a little off. So, but I hadn't heard that about Mahomes. We do know that a lot of them are transformers, inverted. So I wouldn't doubt it. Rhea says, thank you for your prayers. Crystal just wants to get our money. Yeah, so we can do humanitarian projects. I agree. The Chiefs just going through the motions. Thank you. So family, that's about it. We've been on for a while. I just wanted to share my perspective and tell y'all why I'm not stepping down or relenting on what I said. I know that the games are rigged. It's in my spirit. The Chiefs on the land, we the people, however you see it, are winning. We will win. We're still in the heat of the battle. You might lose one battle, but the war is not completely over yet. It's still going on, but we do see that the Grand Army of the Republic, with the CEO and Commander-in-Chief, using the deep state tools, the executive orders against them, and cleaning out the tunnels and forcing people to step down that shouldn't be in place and rescuing the children, because that's it's really about saving our children. Kula says, let's get back to the main subject. Nasara Jasara, enough stalling already. The Americans are hurting. Why are we delaying the inevitable? Let's go. Yes, so let's call in our wealth. You can command it to be so. You don't have to beg. You don't have to get on your knees and grovel and, please, please, please let this happen. No, we can command it because we are one with God. We are gods. The scripture says you are gods. If you don't like saying that, then you have God energy inside you. You were created by the Creator. You are source embodiment or incarnated. As such, you can call in your wealth and demand your wealth to come into existence. You can command peace. You can command healing. You can command abundance. And that's about it, family. I'm getting hungry. I need to eat dinner. I need to go to my granddaughter's swim meet or swim practice. I don't know which one it is, but she's in swimming, so I need to go. Maureen feels that the games were rigged. My name is Dr. Kia Pruitt. This was my perspective. If you desire to support the show, you can send a cash app to $ Mama Kia, MAMAKIA 13. But thank you so much for being here. I hope I said something to raise your vibrations and inspire you to create the most amazing, magnificent life that you desire.